Hello everyone, today we're going to be learning about finding square roots. So we've already talked about solving quadratics by graphing, and we talked about solving quadratics by factoring. However, sometimes that is not always going to be doable when not every equation can be factored. So one different method that we have for solving quadratics is using square roots. And so it's really important when we want to solve a quadratic in the form ax squared plus c equals 0, where the bx term is missing, we can use square roots. So it's only in this scenario when there is no x term in there. If there is an x term, then this method cannot be used. However, when it's missing, we can use this, and the steps to do this is we're going to isolate the x squared term, and then we're going to take the square root of both sides. And as we remember from our previous lesson, we need to make sure we do not forget the plus minus sign in front of our answer. Okay, so let's go through some examples. We're going to solve each. So my step that I want to do first when I'm solving this is to go ahead and isolate my x squared term. So here I have x squared plus 25 equals 0. To isolate the x squared, I need to subtract 25 from both sides. And so I get x squared is equal to negative 25. And then I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And so when I take that square root, I get x is equal to, here, remember when we have a square root of a negative number, we need to take an I out. So I have an I here, and square root of 25. And square root of 25 is just 5, and so I get plus or minus 5i. And remember this plus or minus sign, that's really just saying that my two answers are positive 5i and negative 5i. Okay, look at this next one. I have 2x squared minus 50 is equal to 0. So my first step to get x squared by itself is I need to add 50 to both sides. And so I have 2x squared is equal to 50. Then I want to divide both sides by 2. So I have x squared is equal to 25. And then taking the square root of both sides, I get that x is equal to plus or minus 5. Looking at number 3, I have 4x squared minus 31 is equal to 49. First step is I need to add 31 to both sides because I want to get x squared by itself. And so I have 4x squared is equal to 80. Next, I need to divide both sides by 4. And so I get that x squared is equal to 20. And then I need to take the square root of both sides. And so I have x is equal to plus or minus square root of 20. I know a perfect square of 4 goes in there, so I have square root of 4 times square root of 5. And the square root of 4 is just 2, so I get x is equal to plus or minus 2 root 5. Okay, let's look at one more for this video. Here I have 3x squared is equal to negative 9. My first step here is I need to divide 3 from both sides. And so I get that x squared is equal to negative 3. And then to get rid of that square term, I need to take the square root of both sides because that square root is the inverse of the square. Oops. Let's get this back, so negative 3. And so taking the square root, I get x is equal to plus or minus. Remember, I have a negative that I'm taking the square root, so whenever I have a negative, I really need to take an I out to get rid of that negative. So I have I square root of 3.